Hey everyone, Omogonix here and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 things I dislike about Halo 5's Forge, so let's get right into it. If you do enjoy, be sure to like, comment and subscribe for more. And I am trying to hit 2,000 subs at the moment, so it would be very good if we could try do that. In fact, we're only about, I think less than 30 subs away now, like just over 20 subs away. So hopefully we can hit that soon. So anyways, how about I stop stalling and let's get right into today's video. So the first thing that I dislike about Halo 5's Forge, and I think the most obvious thing that we all dislike about it, is the fact that it requires Xbox Live Gold to play it. Now this obviously sucks, and I remember like there's been multiple times, right, where I would want to record, or just like I'd want to record like a Halo 5 Forge creation review, or just play Forge in general, right? And then whenever I try to go on Forge or a custom game, yeah, you can't access it because you need Xbox Live Gold to do it. Now I sort of get it for custom games, right? You know what, that's fair enough. But for Forge, I mean, Forge doesn't have to be multiplayer. Like, you can do Forge single player, right? Like, what I don't understand is how come they just don't do it like, you know, so then you can still access custom games in Forge, right? But you just can't invite people. Why don't they just make it, oh sorry, you need Xbox Live Gold to invite people? Why do they make it, oh you can't access the whole game mode? Like, in my opinion, it's just so, like, stupid, I guess you could say. Like, I don't know, that sounds a bit hard there, like harsh there, but I don't know, it seems like a good way to describe it as well. I really did wish that 343 would fix that, or Microsoft, whoever would be in charge of that. So overall, it is a thing that I hate because, you know, let's say for example I want to record a Halo 5 Forge creation review for you guys to watch. If I don't have Xbox Live Gold, I won't be able to do that thanks to Xbox. But yeah, so luckily I do have Xbox Live Gold at the moment, so I am all good. But if you ever notice that there might be a time where I don't upload a Halo 5 Forge creation review or something, like for a while or whatever, you know, maybe that could be the reason, because I don't have Xbox Live Gold or something. I mean, if that was the reason, I would say. But yeah. Alright, so let's get on to the second thing, which is no redo or undo option. Now, I hate the fact that there's no redo or undo option in Halo 5's Forge. Like, to me it's essential for like editing tools to have this sort of thing. Like, game engines have it, you know, photo editing tools, all sorts of like, you know, creative tools have it, right? But then you've got Forge, which even in all the other previous Halo games hasn't had it. You know, in Halo 5 it doesn't have it. It would be very cool to see this in Halo Infinite. They should definitely add it into Halo Infinite, a redo or undo option into Forge. Also, speaking of Halo Infinite Forge, we have barely heard anything about Halo Infinite Forge. Do you guys think that will be getting released at launch? Comment down below your thoughts, because I'm not too sure. But yeah, so I've had many times in Forge, right, where I'll be forging and then I'll be making this big mistake, right? And I'll want to undo it, but I can't. You know, I just have to manually fix everything up, which, you know, depending on how big the stuff up is, it could take a while. But yeah, so anyways, how about we get on to the third thing. So the third thing that I dislike about Halo 5's Forge is the fact that there's no AI. Now, I would love for there to be AI in Halo's Forge. It would just make it so much better, and you could do so much creative things just by adding AI into Forge. There's so much more that you can do, and it would add so much more value to the game as well, just by adding that one feature, in my opinion. You could make your own custom campaigns, you know, it'll just make things so much better. Now, I don't understand why Bungie or 343 have never added AI into Forge before, since it can be modded in. I've seen people do it on YouTube before, like GameCheat13 for example. He's an excellent example of it. He's done many videos where he's done like AI battles and stuff like that in Forge, and they're all very cool too. I do suggest that you go check him out. But yeah, so why haven't 343 and Bungie been able to do stuff like that? Like, is it because they're trying to limit creativity or something? I don't know, but hopefully Halo Infinite's Forge does change that and we do actually get to see AI in it, because it is a thing that does suck at the moment. So the fourth thing I want to talk about is sort of minor. It doesn't really bother me too much, but that is the limited objects in Forge. Now what I mean by this is like the budget you have or whatever. So say for example you can put a maximum of like 1,500 or 1,600 objects into a Forge map. You know, you have a certain amount of lighting you can put in as well, stuff like that, visual effects and whatever. In my opinion, that does sort of bother me, because there'll be times, right, when like I might actually be forging or whatever, but then I won't really be able to do anything, because what if I reach the object limit? Now, this hasn't really happened to me on maps I've done from scratch before. Let's say for example I just download a map, right, and I'm messing around in it. Like once I got this Halo Reach Forge, what was it again? It was a recreation of that Halo Reach map, you know, that Forge World, that's what it's called, yeah. So I got a recreation of Forge World once, right? And I wanted to, like, you know, mess around in it, build in it, you know, like just how you would in normal Forge World on Halo Reach, you know? Just sort of relive old times, I guess. But I found myself not being able to do it because, well, there was already too many objects built in. So it is something that does sort of bother me, but it hasn't really bothered me too much. Like whenever I've made my own like Forge maps before and stuff, right, it's never bothered me because I never reached that limit, nowhere near it, like nowhere near that limit. But yeah, whenever I'm like doing something like I explained before with the Forge World thing, it is something that does bother me sometimes, and yeah. So now let's get on to the next thing. Alright, so this last thing that I want to talk about is the limited objects in Forge. Now, you might be thinking, wait, but didn't you just talk about that before? Well, no, actually, I was just taking a look at my notes, because in case I forget what I'm like mentioning next, I'll just take a look at my notes, right? And I took a look at limited objects, right? But what I meant to say was the budget, because limited objects was something entirely different. I just remembered what I was talking about there. So in at number 5, the thing that I also dislike about Halo 5 Forge is the limited objects. Now, every Halo game has their limitations with the amount of objects that they have in Forge. Now, what I mean by this is, you know, just the structures and stuff like that you can use. Like the amount of scenery you can put in, like there's not that much options to choose from is what I mean, basically. Sorry if I'm not wording this correctly. I'm probably making it sound like the same thing I was talking about before. Basically what I mean, right, is like you don't have much options from what you can choose from to use to build in Forge. Like, I mean, in Halo 5's Forge, for example, right, there's not that much flooring options. Like, there's very basic flooring options to start off from scratch with, and especially with walls as well, there's not that much options with walls, very basic options in my opinion. There are all these other littler objects in Halo 5's Forge as well, like all these pallets and stuff like that as well, but to me that doesn't really mean anything. What I loved was like the pre-built structures we got in like Halo Reach and Halo 2 Anniversary and stuff like that, because it's cool to make stuff from scratch as well. But the thing is too, there's not that much to make from scratch with. Like, there's not that much options. Like, there's no sci-fi looking options with the floors or the walls, in my opinion. It's all just very basic, concrete looking stuff. There's not that much options to choose from. There's very limited amount of objects from what you can actually use in Halo 5's Forge. And every other Halo game, like I've said, has their limitations with this as well, you know. You'll get, you know, a Halo game that has a bunch of vehicles, you know, you get one that has less vehicles or less weapons, stuff like that. I mean, Halo 5's Forge has heaps of weapons and heaps of vehicles. I'm not complaining about that at all, you know. When it comes to that, like the gameplay related stuff and even the effects too, there's some good effects and stuff like that as well, the scripting's good. But when it comes to just like the structure and the scenery, there is a limited amount of like objects and stuff. I mean, when it comes to like the natural scenery, there is more with Halo 5, like a lot more with Halo 5 actually. Like, there are quite a lot of options there, but just like other options such as like building options and stuff, not that much. So anyways guys, that is the end of today's video. If you did enjoy, be sure to like, comment and subscribe for more. Sorry if I was a bit confusing towards the end there with my last point. Hopefully I did, explain it a bit better. But yeah, so again, if you guys did enjoy, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. What do you guys think on this? What are some things you dislike about Halo 5's Forge? Be sure to comment them down below. And I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.